Now I want to start there. I do want to shout out your podcast co-host Andrew Schultz.
Andrew's very upset he couldn't be here, by the way. Like really upset. I just felt like it wasn't that. We're not doing a Brilliant Idiots. You know, I still think it should be our name this podcast later. I don't know why y'all let him change it to the Joe Budden Podcast. Just you know, but
this guy's volunteering more of his fucking thoughts.
I thought y'all was a group. I thought y'all was a group.
Your little academic tactic won't work here.
But I'm just saying, like, imagine if Destiny's Child came back together. It can't be called the Beyonce album.
He's trying to divide and conquer the same way he did by getting Ack on his podcast.
We're gonna talk. I can't wait to talk about all of it. I can't wait to talk about all of it.
Charlamagne is smart. He's a very smart guy.
Andrew, I did not invite you here, number one, because I had no desire to speak with you. Number two, your presence would have made this a Brilliant Idiots mashup again. Number three, Charlamagne and I had some history that I would like us to get to. You particularly don't have anything to do with that. I saw you tweeting that I was scared.
I think he was shook.
I think that Andrew overestimates his intelligence and underestimates my arrogance. To say that either way, we're not scared of Andrew Schultz.
Yes, listen. I'm definitely gonna have to hear about this tomorrow. Tomorrow is gonna be. See, they started off the podcast talking about me, and I wasn't there.
Well, I wanted to get that out the way because him and I just had a recent exchange, and I wanted to let him know he's still a friend of the show. Even though now, if I have to let's start there. Let's start on a nice light note. I think I have a better white co-host than you.
Oh, nah, Andrew washes Roy.
At what?
I don't think so.
Funnier, smarter.
Wait, what?
This is biased as shit. It's the truth, though. And I like Rory.
Well, Andrew calls himself a comedian. I don't call myself a comedian.
That's true.
Let's get that out the way.
Score one for Rory.
I might be a bit wittier off the rip.
I'm not even going to defend it. I'm biased because that's my guy, but
this is my beef.
That's a conversation y'all should have with each other.
I like Andrew a lot, by the way.
Well, this is my beef with Andrew. Andrew, and I guess it's kind of my beef with you as well, because you have to inherit the beef. Andrew jumps in, and I guess it's my beef with a lot of white people that are like that. They jump in up on black topics when they probably shouldn't, and they're not very sensitive toward us when they do.
Don't you think we should have those conversations? I agree with the sensitive part, but it's hard to be sympathetic to something you really don't understand. You know,
I think his point is there. Why talk about it if you don't understand it?
Because he's trying to
even have knowledge behind it.
Well, I guess that's
trying to
where
understand.
I think that's where
so
we
he's
disagree.
inquisitive more than.
Yeah. It never looks like he's attempting to understand. It always looks like he's telling us about us, which is where the offense comes from.
I mean, we've had.
I've heard you speak about this even on the podcast.
We've had those conversations on the podcast. I agree with that. I feel like it should be less. It should be more listening and more trying to understand and more, telling us what it is we should be doing wrong. But I do like to hear that side, though. I do, personally. I like to know how the others think. White, Asian, whatever. I like to know what they think about our culture and us.
Do you regret the Tommy